Hello everyone and welcome back. We have a AFERY portable power station that we are going to not only review, but it's a rotten day outside right now. The wind is blowing. It was 41 degrees when I woke up and now it's already dropped down to 30. It's going down to 0 or a little bit below Fahrenheit tonight. And it's extremely windy. Which tells me spring is coming. And here at the farmhouse, when spring comes, if you guys watch the videos, the water level rises because the snow melts and then we get rain, but the frost isn't out of the ground yet, so the water runs down, and the sump pump in the basement is sometimes going off every minute. And then as we get closer to summer and things dry up, it'll drop down to, you know, every 20 minutes and blah, 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 until it completely stops. But last year, this unit is not one of your little 2,000 watt or anything. This is a big unit with a big expansion battery on it. And this system is going to go into the basement to run the sump pumps if the power goes out. Last year, more than once, the power went out and I didn't get on it in time, and sure enough, the water will come up out of the sump basket. I mean, this is an old 1942 farmhouse, so, you know, it's got the low basement, and it's just, it gets you by, but you have to keep that water pumped out. So anyway, this unit is going to go down there with the expansion battery, and then I am going to hook up solar panels to constantly keep it trickle charged. And what I'm going to do, it'll be I'm going to plug in one of the pumps will go into here. I have two pump system. One is a little bit lower than the other one. That's the main one. That one is going to be plugged into this. I'm going to have grid power plugged into this, because with the UPS type system or EPS type system, whichever one this has, we will go through all of that. The grid power will just go through all the time, charge it. Solar will also charge it, and if the power goes out, this immediately clicks on and my pumps still work. Like I said a couple times last year, the power went out and didn't get on it in time, and sure enough, the water comes up out of the basket, and pretty soon I've got an inch of water in that basement. And I mean, nothing's finished. Like I said, it's an old farmhouse, but still, it's not a big deal. Water goes down, but it is a big deal, because if it goes up this high, it's getting into the bottom of the furnace, water heater, and everything. So this is critical for us to have those pumps working. So we're going to get this taken out. We're going to take a look at it. It's AFERY, like I said. I have reviewed AFERY before. I'm happy with their stuff that they make. And like I said, this isn't one of them little units. This one is bigger. As you can see here, this is a 3600 watt portable power station. I will look at that battery and see. I can't remember how big that was, but I definitely, before I got this unit, I said I really needed an expansion battery, because that is the ticket for long-term power outage, especially if the sun's not out, to charge up, you know, everything all at once. This will run it for days. Definitely not a unit that you're going to take on a canoe trip, but it would be very good for an RV. I like that this unit has nice handles on it. A lot of the big units don't, and that's nice. And it has wheels, so you can just wheel it along. That's really, really nice. Let's just take a look at everything that's in the box with this one before I pull out the expansion battery. We've got our AC power cord. We've got our solar hookup right here. And then it looks like it has a cover to go over it, which is pretty nice. Looks like it's waterproof, so if you did take this when you're RVing, or if you could throw it in the back of your truck, you're going camping, if you can drive to your campground, this thing's going to power absolutely anything. It looks like this extra battery has 3,840 watt hours. We can take a look right here at the actual specifications on the power station itself. You guys can pause this and read it if you want. We'll go over some of it. And these are the specifications on the extra battery. There's a bag to cover this one up, and a solar hookup. Actually, and this is a different hookup here, which is kind of nice because with this other one here, there's mainly two types of hookups for these that go into the battery. And buying the two, I end up with both. I imagine in here, there's the cable. Look at how heavy duty that sucker is. Holy man. That goes between the two units. It kind of threw me for a loop for a minute there because they look almost identical. And they say on top 3600 watt portable power station. They're in the same case, but it is different. I thought, oh no, I got two of the same exact thing, but what a neat setup. You can look at the face of them right here. We'll look into this here. It's got a dial for regular input, different wattages. You've got your USB 3.0 right here. You've got the fast charge 100 watt, 20 watts. Your cigarette lighter port, DC. We got this port right here. What do we got underneath here? Oh yeah, oh wow. 30 amp, nice. You've got 4 of your regular plug-ins, 20 amps right there. It's got a handle so you can just lift it up and pull it along. Try not to push it off the table. Both of these do. That's really nice. And over here on the expandable battery, we've got the power button. We have USB output. And you've got the XT60 input. Looking on the back here, we've got our grid power in. You've got your overload protection, reset switch. And then you've got 2 extra battery ports, so we could hook one here and another one. Boy, you'd have a really big unit then. And you've got a light, so when you're plugging this stuff in, you can click it on. Over here on the expandable battery, you know, you've just got the port in. So the only way to charge this extra battery is through the portable power station, which is fine. Why would you have this if you didn't have this? Well, let's get these put together so that I can go have lunch, and this, we'll get it plugged in and charging. I can't wait to get this hooked up into the basement. We just got home from a fishing trip up on the Canada-Minnesota border, and when I got home, the first thing I did was open up the basement door and look down there to make sure that the floor wasn't wet, because it was really, really cold about a week and a half ago, and then we had temperatures into the 40s, and I was worried that the water might start coming up. Not sure how good you can see that with the lighting in here. This one's at 29%. That one's at 28%. That's amazing. That thing is pulling 1,500 watts input right now. It's putting out 640 into here, and you can see, well, you probably can't see it. Here it's taking in 639, 640, and the fan isn't even on. With the smaller batteries, when it starts pulling over 800, that fan comes on pretty fast. You know you have a big system when it's pulling in 1,500 watts and it's still going to take 4 hours to charge it. That's nice though, because it takes a long time to discharge them then. That wind is just nasty out there. It was so nice this morning too. Like I said, like 41 degrees and there was no wind then. It was like, wow, this is really nice. It had warmed up overnight. But it's still winter time. We'll come back later and continue on this. I can already see that I'm going to like this unit. Okay everyone, well it is a couple days later. I had other stuff going on. This charged up, just like it said, 4 hours or whatever. They were both fully charged. I've just left it plugged in this whole time with the AFERY Portable Power Station and the Smart Extra battery. So this is ready to go inside the house now and get that hooked up. It's dark outside. I'm not going to hook up a solar panel to it tonight. But we can get it drug over there, brought downstairs, and I can set it up so that if anything happens with the weather in the next few days, because we have a storm coming and everything, and that water starts coming up, I'm safe as far as the pumps running, the pump to get the water out of the basement, as well as the pumps that run the wood boiler. Everything that I need for power will be covered. Another thing I really like about this unit, because of the way I'm setting it up, where it's going to be in the basement, I'm going to have it plugged into grid power as well as solar power, is a lot of units limit you quite a bit on what you can input for solar. With this unit here, you can input up to 2,000 watts of solar power, 160 volts. I'm super excited to get all this set up, and like I said, it'll take me a couple days because I'm going to have to hook up the solar panels. And right now I have the solar panels put away because it's winter time, so I'll have to dig them out. I really like the 30 amp plug-in that is a true 30 amp. A lot of these will come, AFERY, my other one the same way, it came with a 30 amp and it put out 30 amps, where a lot of them will have the plug, but they'll only put out 20 amps. So all that saves you from, with your motor, your travel trailer or whatever, is not having to have an adapter. You're still limited on the power that you can use before it would blow your overload. Not with this one. I never did check out the light. Oh, that is bright. Alright, I made it down into the basement here. Getting these down there. Our stairway is very small getting down here, and you can see what I mean about this basement. It's just storage. We do a lot of canning, freeze drying, and stuff like that. So this is where we keep all that. It's always normally cool, much cooler down here in the summertime. So I'll get these hooked up. This is where like I said, this is a 1942 farmhouse. So back then they weren't doing these luxury finished basements. So this is just utility. You've got all of your electrical and sewer and everything is down here. Furnace, water heater, everything. So, and then I have everything that comes in here, like the wood boiler to run that. The power comes down here, so I have access to it right here all the time. So I'll get these plugged in and get this turned on and see what we can do. If I turn this on, I would have a nice light back there. There we go. A light that about blind you. Right here, these are my solar cables. I bought a long cord before. Anyway, it goes outside and into the backyard, and that is south. And that sun comes in there so nice. It's just perfectly set up, and beyond that we have pasture, so there's no trees or anything blocking it, so I get full sun on a sunny day, which will be perfect for this. Earlier in this video I was talking about this, and I think I said that the only way that you could charge this battery here, the expansion battery, was with this unit. But I've got an XT60 input right here, which means I can hook that up and charge it with a car, or I can hook up to solar. So this can be charged, you just don't charge it with grid power, because I do not believe it had an input for grid power, and that's quite common. Yeah, all we have is the battery to battery in the back, so you can charge this up. Turn this one on too, and now it should pop up over here that I have a battery hooked up. And you can see right here it says S1, that shows the battery. Everything's going to go into this main unit. I'm not going to charge this separately. I just want to plug the XT60 in back here where everything else is plugging in, and then I'll hook it to the solar, and then I'll get a solar panel hooked up. And now I will simply hook my red to red and black to black, and then tomorrow I can hook solar panels up to it. That'll be beautiful. This I will plug into grid power, and then I will plug that into here also. So this here is my 12 gauge underground wire that runs about 150 feet to the wood boiler. So I'm going to get that plugged in, because right now I unplugged it, so that means it is not working, which is not good. Plug that in. Right now we're pulling 0 watts. I'm going to turn on the AC. Dogs must hear me down here and they don't know what to do. Can't remember how I turned on right there. Turning that on. My little AC came on. And it's pulling. It must be on a burn cycle right now, otherwise there's just the light in the pumps. And right now it's pulling 225 watts of power. And what this is doing right now is it's pulling 138 watts input from this battery. So they just all work together. Sweet deal, it really is. What I'm going to do now is plug this in here. This will run, I'm going to have to redo this cord so it's not in the way, but I usually have it going overhead over to here. This is going to run one of the sump pumps if the water starts coming up. The other one will be hooked up to grid power, so it's not relying just on this or just on grid power. And then I'm going to take the cord for this, which we have right here, and plug this directly into grid power right there. So now you can see output is 372 doing the wood boiler. Input is 646, 643. It's constantly charging. Everything's going through here. And if the power goes out immediately, the UPS system on this one is 10 milliseconds. So it's so fast that there's no flicker in a light bulb. There's like literally just 10 milliseconds of a change between no power and power. So we're doing really good. I'll go outside and make sure that the light's on in the wood boiler, even though I can clearly see that it is. You know what I want to do? UPS is on. Everything is flowing through right now. Let's unplug it. Like so. So this system would run the wood boiler for a full 24 hours with no power if it wasn't plugged into solar or anything. So if you think about it, if you had 1,000 watts of solar hooked up to this thing and it's a sunny day, it would definitely charge this faster than the wood boiler can pull it out. Even a 400 watt panel it would. That light you see over there, that's the wood boiler, and some people are probably wondering what's a wood boiler because you don't watch the channel all the time. That's an outdoor wood boiler. I fill it up with wood twice a day, every 12 hours, and it heats the house, the workshop building where we started this video, and we have a guest house. It heats all 3 of them. It also heats the hot water in the house, and as soon as we get hot water hooked up into the guest house, it'll heat it that also. Well, that's it for the AFERY power station and the extra smart battery for today. If we have some sun tomorrow, like I said, 2 days from now we have a storm coming in, so I don't know if it's going to be sunny tomorrow or not. But if it is, we'll hook up a solar panel and we'll get this video wrapped up. Well, everyone, it's about almost exactly 2 months later since I first put these in and did the initial start of this video. And now the snow is gone and the frost is almost out. It's going out. I would think after today or tomorrow it'll probably all be out. And anyway, that water table starts to come up underneath the basement floor here. And just a couple days ago that pump started pumping the water out from underneath the floor so we don't get a wet basement. These batteries have worked flawlessly. I have the wood boiler plugged in right here. It's been running that the whole time. Right there is the pump that's plugged in. And you can see over there, right there, this is not plugged into the wall. It's just hooked up to solar. It amazes me how smart this is. Like, I'll plug the solar panel in and I'll come down here and it's not taking very much solar. But then when you saw when the pump went off, the output went way up and then it took in more solar. So I don't know, it amazes me how smart they are. They're smarter than I am. But anyway, so far we're going to run this for a couple more days, just see how everything is doing here and then wrap this one up. But yeah, I have nothing bad to say about these at all. They have worked perfectly for the last 2 months. Okay, everyone, well, thanks a lot for watching. I've run this another 4 days because we got that rain, and now the pump is going off about every 5 minutes. And I've been running this only on solar, not plugged into the wall. It's running the sump pump, it's running the wood boiler, and you can see we're at 99% on both of them. When that pump goes on, this jumps way up, and then the solar will be pulling about 600 or 700 watts. I really, it's kind of addicting to watch how they work. And I like this feature too after looking into it more. Like right now I have it set on 1500 watts. So if I have it plugged into the wall, which I don't, and it can pull 1500 watts to charge this up and do it super fast. But if you have a circuit that also runs coffee machine or hair dryer or something, you're going to blow your circuit breaker. So you can just click this down because there's no reason to pull 1500 watts unless you're really taking a lot of stuff out of this thing. And then, you know, it'll only allow this to take what you put it on, you know, 1500, 1200, you know, and all the way down. So then you're not stressing out any of your circuit breakers doing it that way. So yeah, the P310 AFERY portable power station and the P310 expandable battery has worked flawlessly for me. They're running really good specials on this right now. Usually they're like $2,600 or something like that, and then they have it on sale for $1,900, and then if you put in the discount code, you're getting it for, I think it was like $1,050. It's actually an amazing deal. They're also running a special on the AFERY P310, which I've done a video on in the past. That's a little smaller one, you know, portable, but it carries around, runs a circular saw just fine. I use it quite a bit when I'm doing the projects outside for, you know, using my circular saw and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll leave the links in the description box. Check it out if you want. I've had 0 issues with this. It's been really nice. One really nice thing for me having that system, Melissa and I leave in 3 days. We're going to be gone for parts of 4 whole days. And with the pump hooked up to the battery hooked up to solar, and the battery being able to run this pump for days, even if there wasn't any sun, because it's a big enough unit, if the power were to go out, this pump is going to be working. I don't have to worry about that at all. Because if the power does go out and I don't have it hooked up to something like this, or if I'm not home, like in the past before I had one of these portable power station units like this, you would have to get it hooked up to the generator right away. Like I said, right now this is going off every 5 minutes. And there are times in the past I've had these where they are going off every like 1 minute. And if you don't have it hooked up, even at 5 minutes, this is going to come up to here, another 5 minutes it's going to be here, and 5 minutes after that it's over the top of the concrete. And it will get up to, prior to us owning this house, you can see on the walls where it flooded up almost 2 feet. So it's critical for me to have a good time when I go somewhere that I have no worries about my pumps running. Pump will run fine, and the wood boiler will be running fine. Everything is awesome. Average high for today is 58 degrees, and right now it is 82. After an abnormally cold winter, now we're getting a few nice warm days. I'll see you guys on the next video.